What's up, crew? We are back. I am so excited to dive into all things performance with this podcast and all the research that I was doing on little trendy things that are going on in the world today of performance and everything else. I thought about starting off with sleep, and sleep actually led me down a rabbit hole of something that's even more important, and also the number one thing to reset brain and body health. We are going to talk about light. Light has a tremendous impact on all of the things that we do. And I'm going to talk about when to get light, what different types of light that we need to get. Is blue light really all that bad? And how to improve sleep hygiene with these different types of light exposures. So, simple but complex, but something that is free, something that is really easy for you to be able to change in your daily life. Especially, we just had daylight savings, little things to look for during your day, and maybe things that you're already doing, but maybe just being able to tweak these little things just slightly so that it can be for your benefit. And I think just even being aware of little things are going to be able to mentally increase your happiness despite knowing that you're getting certain things that are really, really healthy for you. So the first thing that I want to talk about is light exposure in the morning. So light exposure in the morning helps to reset your circadian clock. So we have this clock. I think a lot of people have heard of the circadian rhythm. This is like our inner ticking clock to where our body knows what's going on throughout the day, kind of is able to tell you what's going on, and you're able to kind of help your body create this cycle, this daily cycle, to where it knows when it's going to get food, it knows when it's going to get sleep, and so that it can properly send you the signals that are needed to prompt you to do these things, right? We feel hunger because our body is signaling to us that it is time to eat, right? We start feeling tired because our body is signaling to us that it is time to go to sleep, right? So from my understanding, and I think one of my goals in some of these podcasts is to take the hours and hours of Huberman podcasts I listen to and kind of condense things down into a real digestible version that you can take with you, and kind of highlight these really simple things that are you can implement right then and there. So I'm going to do my best to kind of regurgitate these things, and I can always link videos and stuff that I have listened to. But the biggest thing, along with light, what I'm going to be talking about is creating a routine. So setting the circadian clock really comes down to certain routines. And I think as long as we are good about just being semi-consistent, I know life changes all the time, but if we can be pretty consistent with our routines in our days, I think it's the best thing that we can do to increase our sleep quality. And it's not just about our time in bed, it is really about the quality REM sleep and the slow wave sleep that we are getting that restores different portions of our brain and body. And so I want to talk about how to improve those different things. So I think when a lot of people think of sleep, they're like, oh, how many hours am I laying in bed? Well, no, it's actually what's happening during the night and during your sleep. So, okay, so morning light exposure. So as the sun is rising, it's at a lower solar angle. So we want to get light exposure as soon as we can in the morning. So this starts the clock and resetting that circadian clock as to when the production of melatonin, which is going to kind of help your body fall asleep, starts to happen, right? So the earlier we get up, the faster this is going to kind of like start this clock so that we can reach our goals of going to bed maybe like a little bit earlier and just naturally helping our body to do so. So I think that being able to understand how you can get this light is going to be helpful. So some of us, we get up early already to go, to work. And here in sunny Southern California, it has been over, 70 degrees in November, clear skies. So for us right now in California, it only takes about 5 minutes to go outside, not looking through a window. It just definitely depends on how thick the windows are. I would even suggest if you're driving in the morning to roll down your windows and just have that natural light kind of come in through your peripheral. You don't have to go staring directly at the sun. I repeat, do not stare at the sun. I think those of us with lighter eyes are more prone to damage. If you have darker eyes, I think they're a little bit more protected. But one of the things, the main point is to kind of give your eyes access to these photons from the natural light that is coming in. Now, people ask, okay, well, what about a cloudy day? All right, well, on cloudy days, there are still way more photons in the sky. And you can ask any photographer, they will tell you that on a cloudy day, there's so much light and so much brightness that it is still better than having light from the inside. Now, obviously, any kind of light is fantastic. If you wake up and it's dark, exposing yourself to that light in the morning, however you can, is ideal. But I would say the best way to get that light and start that circadian clock in your day is to just go outside for 5 minutes, go on a little walk, even just, stand outside a little bit. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I do like some herbal tea in the morning, especially if it's a little bit cold. I am one that I just will open every window and every blind in the morning. I just hate feeling like the house is dark. So I just absolutely love light. So being able to go outside as soon as you can is what you want to do. And, even if that's just like later in the morning, but just really as soon as you can is ideal. So again, getting it through a window is okay. It just depends on the thickness of the window and that kind of thing. So do the best you can with that. So that is, just don't look directly at the sun again. Make sure to blink. And if you feel any pain, that means that there is damage that is happening. So please do not, be staring at the sun. But also, no sunglasses during this exposure. If you have contacts and glasses, that actually is good and can help magnify the amount of photons that are coming in. But for this, if it's super sunny, no clouds out, just make sure that you have no sunglasses on. Like I said, no staring directly into the sun. They say even being in the shade is plenty, that you're like aware, like we're kind of surrounded by other buildings and the light is like reflecting. And I like going up on our patio to do yoga in the morning, and I'm not directly in the sun just yet because it hasn't come up that high, but I'm still able to get the amount of light surrounding. So they say that's okay. So no sunglasses, and that's just like for 5 minutes or so in the morning. On a cloudy day, they say, the cloudier it is, just spend more time. 20 to 30 minutes on a rainy day, 10 minutes if there's clouds, 5 minutes if it's sunny. So just get outside in the morning. Really start that clock. And it's I think it's super symbolic to kind of seek sunlight. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ and how he is the light of the world, and the sun really gives life to earth. And so I think it's just a cool parallel. I just have to throw that in there, that seeking light, the like as the first thing that you do in your day is so symbolic, and it's so cool. I love that. So it's the number one most effective and powerful stimulus for wakefulness throughout the day. Um, and it has a powerful impact on your ability to fall and stay asleep at night. So it's this powerful tool for ensuring a great night's sleep and feeling more awake during the day. So I think these are all things that sometimes we can look to external sources to sleep better, right? We want to take melatonin, and I can get into that later, but it's actually not as great as we think it is. And we use substances like coffee and caffeine to be able to stimulate and create more wakefulness for us. And something that I think is really cool is that just naturally our body craves light throughout the day. And I think that once we get this down and we kind of feel the effects of this wakefulness, it's going to make a big difference. And I was thinking about it because I think this is something as to why like surfers are so healthy, because most of the time they are going out at dawn patrol, which means that they are just going out when the sun is starting to rise, and they are getting that light, they're getting exercise, they don't have their phone. So they're able to kind of get this, first thing. And it's so exciting and so fun and raising dopamine and all sorts of things at the same time. But also, they've found studies that surfers are more productive at work and different things. And it could be because they're getting exercise and they're also, getting this morning light, which is promoting this wakefulness. So there's a few different things going back to this circadian clock. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but there is so much. Sleep is so complex, but I want to point out the major heavy hitters, because you could be doing all the right, sleep hygiene type stuff. But if you're missing this aspect of light and things that are starting your circadian clock, that is really crucial. So along with light, exercise and food are going to be the indicators of kind of telling your body and resetting this clock and telling your body when things are happening. So if you're able to get light, some sort of exercise, even if it's just a walk in the morning, moving your body, and food, those are all things that promote wakefulness and tell your body that it's time to be awake. So many of us have busy schedules, and now with daylight savings ending, that we have this, it gets dark early, and we're not able to maybe see light after work now. But I think if we can really utilize this time in the morning to roll the windows down, feel some fresh air, and get that light in your car on your way to work, I think you'll see and notice a huge difference. So that is one of the things that I suggest with light. And even if you get up when it's like really dark, like I said, artificial light is probably the best thing that you can do. So with that being said, let's get into the different types of light. And talking about, is blue light really all that bad? So blue light kind of got this bad reputation, and it turns out that blue light is actually really important. So if you're wearing those blue blockers during the day, I think they've been marketed as being able to save your eyes from the screens, but it is not good to block out blue light during the daytime. I think it is totally fine. Maybe you're just using them at night, because what I've learned with all of this light application and light exposure is that it takes way more light in the morning to create these health benefits and this wakefulness than it does at night, it just takes a tiny bit of light to disrupt the production of melatonin. And so if you can understand that after it gets dark, if you can keep the lights down to a minimum, and I know Jake and I have been practicing this. We have some smart light bulbs in our house that have some dimmers. I have an old night light from college that I turn on in the bathroom. It's just enough light, and I think you'll surprise yourself as to how well your eyes adjust to the darkness. So take a look at how many lights that you have on at night. I'm actually recording this at night, and I have a big professional light lighting this, and it's probably not the best thing to do. So counterproductive for me. But if you can pay attention to how much light is being exposed at night. I know we like to watch TV shows at night and stuff, but I will really, really try to just have a candle lit or have just really, really low lighting to be able to kind of set that mood and that sleepiness, because just a little bit of light is going to tell your body to stop producing that natural melatonin. And we work so hard to get our light in the morning to be able to start that clock. We want to be able to like help this natural production of melatonin to help us fall asleep and stay asleep during the night and get really, really good restful sleep. So see if you can get some dimmers, see if you can light some candles. Give it about 5 minutes to see your eyes adjust. I think some people have better night vision than others. And one of the really cool things that I heard on this Huberman podcast is that our bodies, in if we get enough light during the day, then we will kind of actually like crave like darkness. We can crave light and crave darkness. And so I believe they said that if you get a ton of light exposure during the day, your ability to see at night is a lot better. And so I noticed this, that, even these like really, really dim night lights, it's like so bright. And I'm so obnoxious about having the rooms like nice and dark. It's kind of like a joke in our household, but have the lights down low have really made a difference to just help us feel sleepy. And one of the things that's so important is when you are feeling tired and sleepy, go to sleep. Just do it. It takes a while to kind of set this, specific clock, but that is crucial. So let's get into the next portion. So yes, blue light, it's not really all that bad during the daytime, but at night, any kind of light exposure is not the best. If you're able to choose what color light, red light is best at night, but you can just do your best. So, okay, so now let's say you are in bed and you're trying to fall asleep. So lighting in the bedroom when you're trying to sleep has to be really, really dark. It's going to be crucial to be able to have it completely dark because, like I said, it does not take that much light to disrupt melatonin. So turn off your, not many of us have, alarm clocks that have those red and, blue lights. Dim those down. I know we have our Wi-Fi in the bedroom. We have covered pieces of tape over things that make, super bright exposures, unplug certain things that are emitting, little bits of light. One thing also is to sleep with an eye mask. I started doing that and I love traveling with that because I don't have to worry about people having the perfect settings or hotels, blackout curtains and everything else. You can just make sure that you are getting that complete darkness. So if that's something that you really can't control, I suggest getting eye mask and also earplugs. It's been a game changer. So being able to have the light really, really dark is important. And if you're like me, I have to get up at least once, if not a couple of times, to use the restroom during the night. do not turn on the lights. Do your best to, if you absolutely have to have a light, point it away from you. You want to keep it as dark as you can during the middle of the night, because that will start telling your body that it's time to be awake. And that also reminds me that at night when you're on your phone, turn the brightness all the way down and shift it into night mode, which kind of produces a little bit less, blue tones and more of that amber type visual screen. And then don't be staring straight at it. I think if you can even just angle your phone away from you is something that can be really, really helpful. So it's inevitable. We're going to be on our phones. We're setting our alarm clocks. We're doing all these things. But if we're mindful of the direct light that we're getting, even just angling that phone a little bit can be really, really helpful. Sleeping with zero light might be impossible for some people. But if you can, get some blackout curtains. We just got these panels to put in our window to completely block out the light. I think something that is able to cover little bits of light, chargers, all those little things. Just pay attention, see how bright the room is, and see if that makes a difference. So just to recap a little bit here. 1, in the morning, go outside, get your light. If it's sunny outside and there's no clouds, it takes 5 minutes. Make sure if you're in your car, roll down those windows, get that light make sure to not stare at the sun. Take the sunglasses off for 5 to 10 minutes and just get that light exposure directly. If it is a cloudy day, make sure it's about 10 minutes. And if it's raining, make sure it's 20 to 30 minutes. There's still way more light in the sky than there is in your house. If you do not have access to any kind of light where you're awake in the morning and it's dark before the sun comes up, artificial light is just fine. I think getting some sort of light exposure to wake yourself up is fantastic. As a reminder, blue light, it's okay. You actually want to get blue light throughout your day. I think it is crucial and not so healthy to kind of block some of the spectrums of light. And we need that. And then also making sure that our bedrooms are pitch black, because it does not take that much light to shut off the production of melatonin. So it takes way more light to wake us up in the morning and start that circadian clock, but just takes just a tiny bit of light exposure during the night to wake us up and kind of ruin that melatonin production and disrupt that amazing, awesome sleep that we're all looking to get. So I'm going to link some of the things that I love to use to help me track my sleep. I'm sure I'll do some more episodes about sleep and sleep hygiene and little things, but I thought we'd start out with light. So try to see if you can incorporate this. Maybe you're already outside in the morning and you're already doing it, but I think just being aware of it is going to make a huge difference. So let me know how this goes. I would love to hear some results of some light exposure and light therapy. I think light is truly symbolic and it is the source of life in our lives. So hopefully this helps, and we'll see you next time. Keep smiling.